Robot sex versus religion. Is it right to think that an older person who entertains the thought of having sex should be considered sick and deprived? I think not. What is the moral problem of having sex with a robot? Sex dolls have been available from as early as the 1960s, albeit the owners of these dolls have been discreet about owning one. Their prime function was for fornication. Short of removing a man's penis, there is very little any government or policing body can do to stop a man from ejaculating. Why do we masturbate? The answer to that question is hormones. Hormones build up pressure and ejaculation relieves that pressure. The ejaculatory system in a man is independent of the sperm and semen system. A man who has had a vasectomy can still experience an orgasm. Women only have one spot for them to achieve an orgasm, the clitoris. In some countries, the religion that is followed in that country demands that a woman has her clitoris cut out so that she stays faithful to her husband. What a load of absolute BS. How would you as a man like to go through the rest of your married life unable to release your hormone build-up? No matter how long or how hard you masturbate, the result will always be predetermined. Nothing will be felt. Nothing at all. Be advised that these religions are all made by men for the convenience of men. Do you know of any religions that have been created by women? Many women stuck in these sorts of environments try to commit suicide. If they are caught by their husband trying to end their lives, they are swiftly taken out and beheaded because the God they follow has secretly whispered in their ears at night, when they are deep in sleep, that suicide is a sin. But mutilating the woman's only sexual release button is okay. What cave did you crawl out of? You don't want to be mixing religion with sexual activities. In one of the more popular religions, the written word is that you should only use the penis and the vagina to make babies. You are not allowed to go around willy-nilly every day, performing random acts of sex. My question to God is this. If the penis and vagina were given to man and woman to procreate and not for enjoyment, then why did you make an orgasm feel so good? And why did you create a clitoris? And while I'm in question mode, tell me why you made women smell like an unattended lolly shop, if you wanted men to find them undesirable. So, what was God's deal for giving humans hormones? In the one hand, he offers you a lolly, and in the other, he gives you an STD. I'm telling you, Lord, you need to brush up on your reward system. In church, I'm told that if I touch myself down under that, I'm a sinner and will go straight to hell for eternity. Once I got used to the heat, I don't think I'd be too bothered. Still, it's okay for the priest at the pulpit to have a bit of young flesh. Please explain. If God is so against people having casual sex, then why hasn't he closed all the adult shops? There are over 100,000 adult sex shops in Australia. They wouldn't be there for the last 100 years or so if they weren't profitable. Has God done an inventory of the sex toys in an adult shop just to see what his little creations get up to when the sun goes down? There are artificial vaginas, lubricants for those dry days, and videos where you can watch other people bang themselves senseless. There are chains and whips. Now I can understand the whips in a kinky sort of way. In the Middle Ages, men would beat themselves with their whips, self-flagellation, first thing in the morning for the sin of waking up with a hard-on. If I were part of that religion, I would have beaten myself to death around the 3rd week into the new year. I find religious people's attitude towards brothels disturbing. You find the town council, which is made up of the police, lawyers, doctors, laymen, and even laywomen, and a bunch of other self-righteous non-sinners all turning a blind eye at the local brothels as long as they aren't anywhere near any taxpayer's residence. Those same town councillors are now wondering what to do with our new addition to our sex toys. Enter the creation for the future, the female robot. Welcome to 2022, where you never need to blow air into your plastic blow-up doll again. Today we have a female robot that looks just like a real woman. She has all the female body parts, and yes, She comes with a rubbery vagina that you need to lubricate before intercourse because she can't be stimulated by anything you do to her naturally. Religious people say that men who have sex with a robot will act out their worst fantasies and then act out those perverse fantasies on human women. That statement comes from people who have never visited a brothel. And may I add? If a male tries to act out anything against a woman's will, he will spend time in jail. Do you know what kind of sex awaits you behind those bars? You can go and fantasize your way onto a 12-inch dick. What is the moral problem with having sex with a robot? It's not alive. It's made with a metal frame and silicone for skin. It shouldn't matter if you have sex with your robot, because you're already going to hell for spending your formative years masturbating into and onto everything that couldn't get away quickly enough. When you have sex with a human woman, you share each other's thoughts. A robot gets its thoughts from a source other than itself, like the internet and apps. At the moment, the robot can't have thoughts for itself. Is the robot simply an extension of man's fantasy world? She can cook, clean, and allow him to masturbate into her rubbery vagina. Some people think sex with a robot goes against the purpose of God inventing marriage. Look at it this way. You've already visited an adult shop and purchased a few sex toys to brighten up your sex life. By the way, you'll be going to hell for that, so why not throw in sex with a robot? You can't burn twice. Those people who condemn you for your sex choices are in the same queue at the back door to the brothel. Another issue religious people have with sex with a robot subject is that such activity will turn you into a deviant, wanting to have sex with everything that has a pulse. They are talking about my early teen years, but we had no robots then, or maybe I would have given one a poke. Religious people think sex with a robot will make you empathetic, a lot they know. Do they really think when I was a young, horny teen that I cared what the girl thought of me? I just wanted to release the pressure that all my perving had got me into. Religious people say that sex with a robot will cause you to have a moral breakdown, and you will want to have sex with children. Those religious people have some real problems with all this imagining. Are you sure some of this shit isn't part of their fantasy world? The moral list just goes on and on. Religious people say when robots become mainstream, they will erode the intimacy between couples. They seem to ignore that 50% of marriages fail. Where did their intimacy go? Another religious excuse for why sex is bad for you, says Dr. Trudy Barber, an expert on the effects of technology, is that sex between couples will be saved for special occasions, whereas sex with a robot will be 24/7. By the way, so are prostitutes. I wonder where and how this good doctor gathered her findings on the subject. Sex between humans can be a headache, and that might be the reason they're not having sex. Wouldn't it be better for you, male and female, when you're feeling a bit frisky and your partner has suddenly turned as cold as the fridge, for you to go off with your robot companion, have a satisfying session, then get on with your day feeling relieved and happy? If a man or woman isn't available for whatever you are after, maybe a stimulating conversation, a cuddle, or you might be in the mood for a quick shag, then perhaps a sex toy like a robot companion might just be the ticket. Who knows? If you're off with your robot companion, sharing moments of lovemaking, you just might be too busy to be off hurting other human beings. I have nothing against people wanting to tag themselves with religious dogma. Just don't come knocking on my door expecting me to join in. Join Don and me at our website www.billabongvalleypublications.com.au. Once there, you will find books you can purchase and then download the audio or PDF version. You can even stop and read one of the 40 videos about Don's female robot companion. Purchase our book, I Bought a Female Robot Companion, and learn what it's like living with a robot as a friend. Bye for now. Emma.